My mum accidentally bought me this like software. It ended up being really advanced.
Really?
Yeah, it was Fruity Loops. And then the whole DJing side came when I was like 15, 16. I remember I spoke to like my teacher and he said, do you want to get a real job? And I was just like, I think DJing is where I want to be. I was playing at this festival in Portugal. I get there, I find out that from one of my other DJ friends, don't look at any of the girls. I'm like, why? And it's like, God damn. Colombian Cartel was there, like hosted this party. And I was just like, I guess I'm just going to keep DJing. And I played for 18 hours. They were loving it. You can imagine what I'm feeling like. I'm like, don't look at the girls. They're really pretty, but just don't look at the girls.
Welcome back to TSL Time podcast, though. Today we're here with Ben Sterling. How are we doing, brother?
Good, my brother. Thank you for having me.
Of course, man. How's it been since you got to Miami?
Yeah, good. I'm missing the weather, so I had to come back. And yeah, it was, the UK at the minute, it's just very cold. So this is a perfect little, downtime just to kind of like get everything rolling. And, I've got January off, so just going to relax and work on music and stuff.
That's amazing. How long ago did you get here? I remember you texted me when you were or we DM'd when you were first moving here.
Yeah, so I arrived here like realistically after AD, so October, and then from October onwards I've just been like, going down to South America, coming back, and then December I just went, down to the UK for Christmas with the family. Came back here, did New Year's Eve in Miami Space, Club Space, sorry, and then I then did New Year's Day in New York Tech Support. So that was really fun. And that was my first back-to-back with Hot Since 82, so it was really fun.
That's sick. Damn, so October, you said?
October, yes.
This is.
I'm loving it. It's great. Everyone's happy. Everyone's going to gym at like 9 a.m. till 6 p.m. still wearing gym stuff. It's great. I just walk around. Everyone's in gym clothes.
All day.
Yoga pants, gym clothes, everything.
It's funny.
Yoga roll as well.
Yeah. It's actually crazy, though, but like the weather here actually impacts people's moods so much, because when I went to Boston, I actually lived in London.
How was that?
It was good. It was
Well,
actually
how long for?
6 months. You're from London, right?
Yeah, like I say north of London, but realistically I'm from like a small little town called Olney near Milton Keynes. But just for like people from coming like seeing me from outside, I just say like North London just to make it easier. But we're like 45 minutes away, so. Yeah,
so my first semester in college was in the least college fucking area of London ever. It was near South Kensington.
Oh my god.
Dude, I was trying to survive on like $200 a week, and the pound was stronger than the dollar.
Yeah.
So I was literally like, it was the most, it was an amazing time. Most of it was spent on pints and fucking around.
Yeah, pints are cheap there.
Yeah, that's good.
That's why everyone's drinks there, so it's fun.
Pints were the most affordable things that they had.
Yeah, you would see someone drinking a pint, again, like here in Miami, it's 9 a.m. to 6 p.m., everyone's doing gym. 9 a.m. to 6 p.m., people are still in the pub.
Yes.
Still in the pub. You see someone at 8 o'clock in the morning drinking a pint with their breakfast. It's a thing.
That's a balanced meal.
Yeah, balanced meal.
You ever done a few of those?
Rough days sometimes after a show, but
yeah.
It's like we call it the hair of the dog. What do you call it?
Yeah, hair of the dog.
Yeah, same thing.
But no, what I was going to say is that everyone here is always happy because the sun is always shining and they're in the gym. And especially right now, this time of the year, in Miami, it's like 70 degrees, clear skies.
Yeah, wow, it's great. I know it's a tiny bit chilly in the nighttime, but
yeah,
honestly, just seeing that sun just blaze, in the month of January is just a precious thing.
I think this is the time of the year that I always say it's like only locals get to experience, or people who have you're a local now, not a tourist.
I know my way around.
Yeah, it's easy to figure out your way around here. Right?
You know what? It's funny because I thought Miami would be like huge, but I started to realize that it's just different sections.
Mm-hmm.
Like we're kind of different in the UK, but like different sections of Miami. Then you go a tiny bit more north, and then you're in. I can't pronounce it. Fort Lauderdale.
Fort Lauderdale, yeah.
Fort Lauderdale. I can't say it.
Yeah, you can say it.
I don't know why.
Yeah, it's literally Fort Lauderdale. I think Boca's after Fort Lauderdale, or maybe I don't even fucking know. Fucking Midtown, Wynwood, South Beach, downtown Brickell,
everything
all across Biscayne. That's what I love about it.
Yeah, Biscayne, I definitely know. Like if I'm going up and down Biscayne, but yeah, just anything across that section.
Yeah, and so you got here. So now it's been 3 months, and you said you did Space New Year's. Did you do Hocus Pocus this year? You did.
I did do Hocus Pocus.
Matt, weren't you there?
It was when I was dressed up as Jack Sparrow. That was.
Oh yeah.
That was funny.
That was insane.
You know what? I got into character too much, and everyone was just very confused if it was actually me or not, because I had
He was dressed as Jack Sparrow.
still makeup. I don't know how you take off eyeliner.
Yeah.
So I was just like, I had like really big, like black eyes, and I was just like, oh my God, I'm a panda.
Yeah, I remember the next day you posted a picture on IG. You were smoking a Fat J in your
Yeah.
Jack Sparrow fucking outfit.
Yeah.
That was.
It was funny. At first we got the wig, and I was just like, I got like dreads, and straight away I just looked Jamaican, so I was loving it. So I was really into character then, and then, you know, after that, Jack Sparrow.
Yeah, he was there, and he told me it was an amazing time. I didn't get to make it to that one. But I did get to see you. This was the first time we met, because I wanted to tell you this funny fucking interaction we had during Basel.
Yeah.
How was Basel for you?
Basel's amazing. I really enjoy Basel and Miami Music Week. It's just, I feel like the whole town just turns into chaos.
Chaos.
Yeah, I love it.
What do you think is
parties
crazier,
everywhere.
Basel or Music Week?
Do you know what? I like Basel because it's like more artsy, and, you know, there's a bit more like fashiony stuff going on in the same time. Miami Music Week's just like strictly music, like industry, and like, which is great still. Nothing wrong with that. I kind of like the artsy bit of Art Basel as well. Yeah.
Did you do some art seeing or?
I tried to. I tried to get out of bed. I think I was waking up at like 2 p.m. It was.
I think that's usually the case for a lot of people, though. You know, even myself. It's you know, but I do think that aspect of it is a bit nicer. Just like the art, the walking around. There's like more daytime activities and just, you know, I mean, Music Week there is day parties and stuff, but it's not just partying during Basel.
Yeah, I kind of messed up. I did like Monday going out, Tuesday going out. I just all the way through to like the next, and then there's Monday like super closing at Space, like 100 hours. I don't know, but yeah.
Yeah. So Thursday, the day you played at Mayan Warrior, right? That was the first night of Basel that I actually partied, and my cousin came to visit from New York, and she loves your music. She fucking loves Carlita. Yeah. And you guys got on like at 4, right? You were 4 to 6, or was it 3 to 6? Something like that. It was late.
Yeah, we came on at like, I think 4 till close.
Yeah, 4 to close. And so Seth was playing from like 1 to 6, and I was with Seth originally, and then Josh Baker, who I'm kind of friends with, he was getting on at 4 as well. And her and I don't know if you've ever seen those funny videos on social media where it's like you record each other after every drink you have. It's like, oh, we're 1 drink in and we feel this way. Or you've never seen those?
No.
They're funny as fuck.
I need to watch them now.
You'll have to see one. And so she tells me that night, it's like 9 p.m., let's make this fucking video before we go to Factory Town, whatever. So we start making the fucking video. By the time it's like 3, 4 a.m., I'm destroyed. I'm so fucked up. I was like, yo, we got to leave. It's 4 a.m. And I was like, you know, we're not going to be able to, we didn't show up to Mayan, whatever. And she's like, listen, let's just go one quick time. Let's see if you run into Ben, since you guys, I told her I'd been talking a little bit on DMs, and we can get lucky. And because they weren't letting anyone on Mayan.
Yeah.
And then, dude, I'm like not seeing straight. She's like grabbing my arm.
Oh, that's why you just looked at like, you wasn't even looking at me. You was looking over there.
Yeah.
Like, bro, come with me here.
And then you tap me on the shoulder, and I'm just like, yes. I was so fucked up. And then she was like, and then after that, dude, you and I, oh my gosh, you were feeding me tequila, bro, up on that stage. The next day I was broken.
Tequila's just endless. I love it. It is endless.
DJing, it's like, oh yeah,
Unlimited.
like, all right, we'll get it right for you, no worries.
Yeah, when you're pulling the bottle, it's just, that's when it gets dirty, man.
Yeah.
But yeah, that set was so fucking sick, man.
Thank you, bro.
And that view from there. What's up with have you done Burning Man?
No,
Mayan Warrior,
I've actually never done Burning Man, so it was like a first like whole experience going on there. But then when I started seeing the stage, kind of like seeing it in the videos of like Burning Man, I started like putting 2 and 2 together, and I was just like, this is sick. Maybe I should do Burning Man and go check it out.
You definitely should.
I think it's just the whole like, there's so much preparation to like going to Burning Man. Everyone keeps telling me like you have to get like a huge RV, and you know, you need to like not wash for like 5 days. And I love a shower, so I love a nice hot like spa, burning your back, red shower.
Fuck yeah.
So yeah, I don't know if I can get that at Burning Man.
You might have to
I
figure out.
would be the Burning Man.
You will be the burning fucking man. Take a portable shower with you.
Portable
out there.
shower, spa.
Yeah.
If there's a spa in Burning Man, I'm there.
I think they can definitely fix something up for you if you're gonna get out there.
Special request.
Yeah, of all things, I mean, I've never been, but from what I've heard, there isn't anything they can't get out there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
From food to all sorts of resources. It's unbelievable. But
Well, it's like a sharing, in it. It's like a
trade.
yeah.
I've heard good and bad things like anything, but no, the reason I ask is because my cousin, she's who was with me when we first met, she was telling me how Mayan Warriors probably only gonna, that stage on Factory Town is only gonna be there one night.
Wow.
Because of like the whole Burning Man architecture thing, and I don't know if is that do you want to do that one day? Burning Man?
Yeah, I actually do really want to do Burning Man. Like, I've heard so many great experiences from friends, you know, like, and they've always spoke really highly about it. So, you know, I know they had like trouble with the whole like there was like what was it? They had like a mud problem. Was it last year or something?
Oh, because it rained or something.
Yeah, like it just randomly rained in Burning Man, and then everyone was trapped and stuff. And I was like seeing videos, but I think that was like last year or 2 years ago or something. But
I forgot when it takes place.
It did sound fun though.
Yeah, it sounds like a lot of fun.
I'd love to be stuck in the mud.
It's all retro and just fucking in the desert, their own city and stuff. Which, yeah, I mean, if you get out there, maybe I'll swing by again.
Yeah,
that'll be sick. But no, I wanted to. I mean, let's go back to London. So, I mean, you were born outside of London, 45 minutes out.
So what happened was where my like place of kind of like growing up was, there was like a lot of history of like rave and like house music. Like there was Helter Skelter there. There was a lot of like big clubs that like started there. But as I like grew up, it never like stayed, because, you know, the rave scene changed. Everyone went into London, and I think when I was like really starting out as a producer and a DJ, I like had to really go in to London. But I'd take like the train at like 11 p.m. and then stay at like Egg or Ministry of Sound back in the day, and just wait until 6 a.m. and then get the first train back. It was really rough, but, you know, you have to do those kind of journeys so that you can like keep that presence in that industry. But yeah, London was 100% like the best thing to do, like coming in like every time.
That was the first club. You were a resident at Ministry of Sound?
Yeah, it was like Ministry of Sound. Like I had one of like my mentors, Gareth Cook, back in the day. He like looked after me, and he basically like presented me when I was 18. Like, do you want to do this like little side room? Rulin, which was like the Ministry of Sound event back in the day, that, you know, they did like a residency there. And the night that was actually performing was Eric Murillo. So I was actually on the same kind of like, you know, lineup as Eric Murillo, and I was just like, wow, I want to check that room out. And I checked that room, and I just remember Eric Murillo just destroying the dance floor. And I was like, I love the way he DJs. And he was just kind of like capturing the crowd. And then I would see him like really bring in that kind of like tease of the bass, and then he would just throw it back up, everyone going up, just losing their shit in a way.
That's fucking awesome. I went to Ministry of Sound twice when I was in London, and it was actually funny because my freshman year of college was 2019. And so in London, obviously the drinking age in Europe everywhere is 18.
Yeah.
But that law that they made in London after, you know, whatever happened, where you have to be 19 to go to Fabric, and or you have to be 19 to go to some of these like dance music clubs, I couldn't go until the last month of my semester abroad, because I turned 19 in November, and I got there in August. And so as soon as November came around, I went to Fabric 20th year anniversary with Jamie. I went to the Ministry of Sound, and I think I went into that room on that smaller room on the right-hand side. It's like...
Yeah, it was funny because I remember when I first played, I was only prepared for like an hour or two. And then I think one of the DJs never showed up. So I was just playing for 6 hours, and I was like, I've never played for this long. I've always like known to like play an hour or two. And this was like when I was 18. So I was like, I really need to just switch it up and just change it around, and just, you know, going into this whole kind of like journey in music. And that's how I started to learn that I can do that sort of sets. I can play long sets. And it was actually very interesting. I prefer having a longer set than having a short set. I feel like there's so much you can do in like an hour, compared to if you had like 6 hours, you can really take someone. on a crazy journey.
Yeah,
So,
it's kind of like you can tell more of a story.
yeah, I was kind of like, it was funny. I wasn't prepared, and then I had to like be prepared for it, and it just happened. So I was just like, okay, I did 6 hours. That's crazy.
That's fucking awesome.
Yeah, so that was fun.
And so then going before that, you know, what was that like thing that kicked off, you know, music for you, a song that maybe inspired you to get into it? When did you get into?
So I remember back in the day, like I was sitting down. I was like I think I was like 3 or 4. I don't know, like probably like a really young toddler. But I remember just sitting down on like
3 or 4, you said.
Yeah, I remember it. I remember sitting down like on the rug, on the carpet or whatever, and I just look up and I see Music Sounds Better With You, where he's like throwing the plane into like the field, and that song just like stayed with me like forever. But yeah, it was just like one of those moments where, you know, MTV came on, dance, and then that came on, and I was like, this is amazing. But I was just like, how did they make it? Because it was not really like, not at the time when I was 4 or 5, but like later on, I was just like, how did they make electronic music? And I got to like 11. My mum accidentally bought me this like software, not thinking it was like a kid's game, like to make music. It ended up being really advanced.
Really?
Yeah, it was Fruity Loops, because it looks like, you know what I mean? It looks like a little like, I think it's like a strawberry, like an orange strawberry. Yeah, I don't know what fruit it is. I think
I wish
they
you could
revealed
pop it up and see it now. The TV's
yeah,
on.
they revealed what fruit it was. But I don't have a clue what fruit it's called. But
And so what you would?
yeah, it was like there, and I opened it up, plugged it in, and then that was it. I just straight away just switched off, and I started making like little like, I was making like trap, hip hop, and house at the time. Coming to like school the next day, and like, I showed my friends like, oh, I just made a beat, and they would be like, yeah, I can rap, bro. And I was like, all right. And then they started like rapping. So yeah, they started like rapping to my beats. It was quite funny. I was going around school just like making beats for people.
That's fucking sick.
And then yeah, it's
on this
funny.
little gift that you received.
Yeah, because it was just fun. I just loved like creating stuff, and it was like mainly like hip hop kind of at the time, because like that was what we was all into. We grew up with like the grime, the drill scene, and like a lot of the US influences, like when Drake had like Young Money back then and stuff like that. So yeah, it was just a lot of influences. And then the whole DJing side came when I was like 15, 16. I would bring like a huge PA speaker to like all these house parties. I would like be the person to like bring in this rig. I'd be like, yo, we're going to bed. And I was like, cool. Come in, big rig, set up. The house is shaking. Everyone's loving it. It's, oh, Ben, you're a legend. Like, you brought this huge rig. But I would plug in my music.
Just playing aux.
Yeah, I would aux it. And I was like, this is actually really fun. And then I bought these like really tiny micro decks called Hercules. You can search that up. It's hilarious. And it's so tiny, like the knobs are so small. But I was just like, I really want to DJ. I really want to get into this stuff. And I just started learning, and then it learned up to like when I was 18, and then suddenly Ministry of Sound after that. But yeah, it was just a fun little journey. I was just really just captivated. And I remember I spoke to like my teacher, and he said, do you want to get a real job? And I was just like, I think DJing is where I want to be. And he kind of like, you know, just dismissed me in like music school. And I was like, okay, he doesn't think I'm going to be a DJ, but it's all right. We got there at the end.
Yeah, that's fucking amazing. I mean, in the beginning, anytime someone has some wild idea that is out of the norm, people kind of just look at you and laugh at you. Yeah,
but that actually helps.
Yeah, it fires you up a bit,
like,
right?
Hey, yeah, you don't think I could be a DJ? And then that's it. I'll just try and become a DJ. So yeah, it's like a lot of, I noticed in like life, there was a lot of people just like saying, hey, you want to get like a real job, blah, blah, blah. But it's just like having them believe like this is what I want to do. I can't do anything else that I want to like be excited for. This was something that I've always dreamed about. I've always seen like how like all the EDM DJs back in the day like were just creating this whole like, I don't know, just amazing life. And I would like look at Ibiza and be like, I really want to go there, because in the UK it was a very big like holiday destination. Like, of course, going to Ibiza, you can speak to like all my friends' dads now, like they all used to go to like Ibiza back in the 80s, 90s, and yeah, it was just a crazy like scene. But the house music was very UK driven.
Mm-hmm.
Like we had Calvin Harris, we had all this stuff like coming into like the charts. So it was always like around me. So it was just perfect, just the way it kind of progressed. And I think that's a lot with a lot of UK artists. We've had it around us since we were like kids.
Yeah.
And our like dads and stuff and mums used to just go out raving. So
You know, it's pretty funny now that I think about it, because I've seen the thousands of memes of, you know, the UK motherfuckers on the Ryanair flight and people just getting hammered on the way to Ibiza.
God.
And that's like, so even for...
that's tradition. That's a tradition now.
Dude, I look at those
Stansted.
videos and I'm just like, yes, this is how you start a fucking vacation.
Yeah, you can't
Like,
use that
the
toilet.
flight attendants are getting fucked up with them and shit.
Yeah. Honestly, there's been some times where they've like banned alcohol and I'm like, oh, it's gotten too far. It's gotten too far.
Is it
Yeah.
banned?
No, I remember the pilot came out one time, like I was just chilling, we was going to Ibiza and the pilot came out like, everyone stop drinking, there's no more alcohol, like I'm flying this plane or I'm staying here or whatever, just like threatening us like we're not going to go to Ibiza. I'm like, that's fine, just take us, we won't have any alcohol.
You can wait. How long is the flight? An hour? 2 hours?
Everyone just goes to the bar at the airport. If you look at like Stansted Airport, Luton or Gatwick, you can just see the bar is just full of people just going for it. And a lot of people don't get on the flight, but it's funny.
Because they get too trashed before.
They get so trashed, and now there's like new rules and stuff. But it was funny because he sent me his flight, and I was just like, bro, you're going from Stansted to Ibiza? I said, bro, that was I said, like, be prepared. Like, you're gonna see a lot of people.
Kids were running up and down the aisle. It was nuts.
That's insane.
It was nuts.
That's pretty funny. So like, and that's a thing for you would say for like when you're in high school in the UK, teenage years. Yeah, dude. Usually I fucking slouch so
Bro,
much.
I was sinking into
No. Moose, you gotta have the slouch alert because that.
like I'll put like a grip tape here.
Yeah, no, there's
So they don't slide.
bro. There's times where I'm like this in half the episode, and I'm like, bro, how the fuck?
I'll
you
be
not
like
tell
this
me?
at the end, like, yeah, and we had a great time in Ibiza.
Yeah. So, because it's that's
there we
kind of
go.
like a destination that you already envision. You see, like that's like it's a thing, right? You're in
Yeah,
teenage
it
years. Like
was-
Ibiza's the place to party, you know, because it's close by and.
I remember the first time I went to Ibiza, I did 2 weeks, and I was with this guy, and you know we were just like, you know, fuck it, we'll go to Ibiza and like see, because I really want to see it. And like, a lot of my friends thought I was like crazy going to Ibiza, and you know, it is what it is. But I just decided to go on my own with some guy, just randomly to Ibiza, and I said I really just want to go. And I felt like the only person that like stops you from going sometimes is your friends, not in a horrible way, but you just need to just do something in life and be like, they'll understand. So I did 2 weeks, and it was funny. I think we had like the hotels were so cheap. We had like some crazy hotel in San Antonio, and I don't know if you've been to San Antonio, but it's basically another version of the UK, but like there's just so many UK tourists.
That's where is San Antonio near Cova Santa?
Yeah, it's like
I felt like I was in
do you
the
know,
UK
Like, do you know
when I
like
went to that
Eden?
club.
Do you remember Eden or something like
Yeah,
that?
no, I know I know of
Like
the club.
Cafe Mambo's.
Yeah,
I would go there. I did 2 weeks, and it was just like, it was all about just being in the parties and making sure you're present, and just like, I was doing a lot of like PR work as well, and just trying to like get into like this whole like social media game. I think it was like Snapchat and Instagram at the time, like trying to like get rid you know, just be present, get there, and just try and like enjoy as much as possible, go out every night. And it was intense, but after that 2 weeks, I was like, wow. But yeah.
yeah. That's. I mean, I remember the first time I mean, San Antonio, Cova Santa. I was telling Mike the other day. I went there for the first time during August, and it was like, it was the UK. Bro. Everyone was English.
Yeah. There's a literally called a West End strip where it's just like Irish pub, Scottish pub, Welsh pub, English pub, and everyone's just bouncing back and forth from the pubs and the bars. But like, it would be the loudest, hilarious place you can go to in San Antonio, probably in Ibiza, and you would see a lot of funny stuff there if you just want to just go and spectate. It's fun.
So I mean, so now that I'm thinking about it, 2019 or that was when you got into Ministry of Sound, or 2018.
I think on my post I revealed the flyer when it says 2015.
Oh, okay.
This is what I mean. I feel like 2015 was like couple years ago. It's like,
Yeah.
It's like, what is it, 10 years ago now?
Yeah. What the fuck?
Oh my God, I don't like thinking about this. Someone was just like, oh yeah, and like it's 25 years till 2050. I'm like, thanks, bro. Like, come on.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was 2015.
Yeah. Okay. So 2015 is much different.
Wow. Yeah, a lot's happened. Wow, I feel old. Jesus. But yeah, no, it was that was when I did it, 2015, and
And you were what, 18 at the time, 19? Yeah.
18, just turned, because I wanted to play. That was it. Oh, this is a fun fact. I was supposed to play Frankie Knuckles' show in March of 2015 or 14, and literally a month later he passed away, and I was just like, wow, I could have played with Frankie Knuckles on the same night. And yeah, he literally passed away a month after, and it just blew my head, because I was like, wow, I really, really wanted to play. I was so excited, because that was like the first opportunity. Like, yeah, I would be in the small room, but it's just the whole presence of being like next to like,
Of course,
the house maker. And then after that, actually, that helped me go into like the history of house music, and I just started like researching everything about Frankie Knuckles, and just gone into like a huge like documentary hole of house music, and just learning, because I feel like you need to learn your craft. You can't just come and DJ and just produce. You have to like understand like why people did it back in the day, like what was the drive, like people got excited just twisting knobs and being like, ooh, we made something nice today. And
yeah, that's it. I feel like a lot of things have I think that's changed a lot nowadays, don't you think of it?
It's way more accessible, and now you can get like virtual instruments on your like computer, but like still to this day, like I get a buzz of just like seeing all the old school stuff, like tape and blah blah blah.
Like even I've noticed in university that while I was there, 2019, 2024, it's like everyone wants to become a fucking DJ nowadays.
Yeah,
it's crazy, dude.
It's like now the new rock star.
It is.
Yeah, it's like instead of having a guitar and like, you know, showing your girl like, oh yeah, I play guitar. It's like, no, you're a DJ. You just press 2 buttons. Not joking. But yeah.
I think, you know, I was talking about this with someone the other day. I think it's because it's just the social media just allows you to distribute a mix or a song so easily. Yeah. And if you have one viral moment, maybe you can pick up traction. But the difficult part is, you know, of course, you have one crazy video and then you get some Spotify listeners, and how do you keep it going? And so there's so much more just constant inflow of people trying. And
yeah, you know. The social media definitely has changed since I first started. Like I think it was like way easier because there was not a lot of people doing it. And I think also back then, like we didn't have a lot of like, you know, everything was a footage. It was like, oh my God, this footage of like a DJ dropping this and that. But back then it was still slowly getting there, and then suddenly now everything's just a video online, just flying. But like there's a lot like new algorithms and blah blah blah. Like,
yeah, it's crazy.
Just going like, so people are really good at it.
Yeah.
But there is some people that are really talented, but just haven't had that opportunity to like be filmed like that, and you know, be taken into like different. It's all about this whole like new marketing. Like I think you just turn into an influencer now as a DJ.
I spoke to Josh Baker a bit about that. It's crazy though, because I mean, I can't imagine. I fucked around on Ableton. You know what I mean? I've played around on my friend's decks before, and like to really even do it nicely once, it's very difficult. You know what I mean? There's a lot of thought that goes into, you know, every time you so much. You're building a puzzle, right? You're telling a story, and like. Fucking, I just lost my train of thought with that, but we were talking about right before about building a song.
Yeah.
What were you saying?
No, so we was talking about how now it's like much easier for a DJ to like now become, or you said like you started trying to produce and
right, and it was no, I couldn't figure it out. So back to the algorithm thing. So to understand, like I can't, like the mental capacity that you would have to have, you're always thinking about like, okay, like I'm feeling these creative juices and I want to put it into maybe this track, and then also be thinking about how the fuck you're gonna market it nowadays. Like that's just overload. You know what I mean? So it's like the world is changing in a very interesting way. The
world's changing, and now there's like all this future like AI stuff that like I've seen people use, and it's just blowing my mind. Like people can now like AI singers.
Yeah, it's overwhelming.
And I'm like, what? So now I feel like AI is taking a lot of people's jobs, not just music, but like now it's getting into music. It's kind of worrying to see like how it's much easier. You know, like I would think of like a bass line and be like, oh, this is a cool little rhythm. And then you just press like a button on this like AI software and it just creates a bass line for you. And I'm like, no, this is not the art of music. The art of music was to like, you know, you see back in the day, people like trying to figure out like bass strings to play for this song. And it just starts going into like a whole journey.
Yeah.
And someone's just pressing like a button and it just creates like a bass line straight away. I'm like, wow, this is... But yeah,
We'll see what has to happen. I hope it doesn't fuck up. You know, especially from like creatives. That's just like holy shit. You can't even think about it.
Well, yeah, it's stopping the creative. It's using like the whole AI to
crazy shit.
Yeah, just to kind of think for you, and you miss the rawness
of 100%.
Like playing in a bass line and be like, this was fun. So yeah,
we'll see. I mean, we'll see. It'll be interesting to see who can pull that off, and I mean, who the fuck knows? That'll be crazy. And so now going into, I don't know if you mentioned, but then when were you in Ibiza for the first time? When did you start? When did you officially start touring? And because I remember in 2019, my bad, I forgot you off. Dude, I remember the first time I heard that remix you did of Mind Dimension.
Oh, the Mind Dimension.
Am I wrong here, or did it get leaked on SoundCloud and then you took it down?
No, so I can tell you the full story. Basically, I worked on this track. And I sent it to Tiga back like during COVID, and it was like with his vocals, and I was really into turbo recordings. I still am. It's just like this, his record label, and like everything that came from there was like very Berlin, like sounding like slow, kind of like slowish electro techno kind of vibe. And I was just like really invested into this whole sound. And I remember just making this track, and I was just like, I made this for Tiga. And I sent it to him, and he said, really cool track, but not sure about this time period because it was during COVID and like we thought the world was ending. So I was just like, but do you like it? And he was just like, he likes it, but he just didn't really see the future. I think no one really saw the future because like COVID hit. I was like, do you know what? Like, there's nothing we can do. Like 2 years later, I remember showing Mike it. He was like, yo, this is insane.
Dude, I heard it.
Whoa. And I was just like, Mike, there's nothing we can really do because, you know, blah, blah, blah. He's like, let me handle this. It's a good accent.
Magic Mike.
Magic Mike. And we sent it over to him, and he said, hey, I really like this record. Maybe we can just get it. I just don't want my vocals on it. So we got it resung, which is like a thing you can do where it's basically like there's publishing and mechanical license. It's so technical, but I'll just run through it easy. But basically, we cleared one side, but we couldn't clear the side where his vocals are on there. So he said, like, I just don't want my vocals on it. So I was like, cool. We got it resung with a singer that we know, and then we wanted to put it out on Revival, and then from there, when we started doing the whole like promo push and like getting it out to all the DJs, like we already gone through that process. And then I think he hit us back and he said, oh, I just don't want it out at all. So we respected it straight away. We said, we didn't mean this. We were literally just like thinking that you just didn't want your vocals on it. So we took it down. But the thing is, when we took it down, everyone started playing it because it already started sending it to like promos, and I think like DJs just being DJs were just friends. We're like, hey, you have it, hey, you know, just throwing it around, and it's just got thrown around so much that like a lot of big DJs were like hitting me up to say, hey, I really want this track. Like I had Tiesto like send me, hey, this record's cool, blah blah blah. I'm like, here you go, Tiesto, and then like mine Garrix, and I was just like, what is going on? And then there was even like some minimal DJs like from Romania like wanting to play it, and I was like, this is like the huge spectrum of like everyone in the industry just playing this, like Taylor Vass. I don't know, there's just
that
like,
shit was a
it just kind of
banger.
like went through like every genre of like DJs, and I was just like sitting there like I don't know what to do. Like, what do we do? Like, we can't release it, but everyone's playing it and everyone wants it. And then it was funny. Like, I told there's this. Sorry, I skipped a few steps, but basically, like I messaged. I think Calvin Harris like hit me up and said, "Hey mate, like this record's sick. Like what's the problem? Why is it not out?" And I said, "Well, you know, I don't want to disrespect Tiga. You know, he clearly doesn't want it out because it was like a meaningful track. Every time I look into your eyes, I see the future. So I'm guessing it was like a lyric that meant a lot to him." And Calvin just said, "No, let me just message him." And then he just said, "Tiga, like I think you're making a big mistake here. Like you should like maybe reconsider this whole thing." And then I think he also just agreed, like it's already out. Everyone's been playing it. Everyone wants it. Like this is actually could be really good. And then Tiga like came back and said, "Look, let's do it. Let's do it like the proper way. Like we'll have me and you, blah blah blah." And we made like this agreement and stuff, and it just ended up coming out. And I was really happy because that was actually what I wanted to do at the start. But I think because of COVID, it just didn't really like happen. But we were still eager to like release this record, and then it just had a happy ending, and then it came out with him, Ben Sterling remix. And it's funny because TSL also did a remix as well. So yeah, it just ended up being a little happy ending
with a couple road bumps throughout the way.
Yeah,
of course.
and then just last year, Mike was just like, "Who do you really want to play with? Like, you know, you can do any back to back in solid grooves." And I said, "Tiga," and Tiga just accepted it, came over, and honestly, we just vibed so well. And
Where'd you guys play?
We played DC-10.
Oh, that's sick.
We recorded the set. It's on YouTube as well. But I was so happy. You could see me. I was just like, "It's Tiga, it's Tiga."
Yeah,
because Tiga was always like a big inspiration. You know, when Bugatti came around, he just made very weird, like electro, and I was like, "This is creative."
Yeah,
kind of like a Gary Newman of this age. So I was like, this is cool.
I remember when I listened to the song before you guys maybe took it down or anything, because I remember it was on Spotify during was it 2019 or lockdowns? 2021.
Yeah, so 2020 2020 was COVID, so I sent it I remember it was March. I sent it to him in 2020, and that was when everyone started like shutting down and
yeah,
you know,
whenever it was. I remember I was listening to it on Spotify, and my friends and I during lockdowns, same Spanish friend of mine that I was telling you before that's has a place in Ibiza or whatever. He was always mixing at his house every day, and during lockdowns we were just drinking, same group of friends. And we listened to the song one day, and I'm like, what the fuck? Just playing. You know when you hear a song you really like, you play 30 times a day? And then one day I'm just like, yo, where the fuck is this song? Like, why isn't it on Spotify? And I would go on SoundCloud, and there would only be like a snippet of it. And yeah. I was like, and I always wondered to this day, I was like, what happened during that break? So, I mean, now it all makes sense.
Yeah, it's a crazy journey, but I'm super like thankful for like Tiga, his team, and like Calvin for pushing it as well. And everyone that was just kind of supporting it, Mike as well, did a good job, mate.
But yeah. That's fucking awesome, man. That's so sick. Would you say that sounds like a very memorable moment during that period?
Super memorable, just because I was really like, I was so overwhelmed with like how many people were like really supporting the track, and I was just like, what is going on? Because I was just like, another day passed, I get tagged, I'm like, this DJ played it. So yeah, it was just crazy. It really broadened my like horizon, and it also made me feel like this is the buzz that every producer should have, is when you feel like you've done your kind of like your job into like making that creativeness and touching everyone, and everyone's, you know, I've seen people even like get engaged with the song.
That's insane.
Yeah, I've seen like a video online on Instagram or TikTok, someone was like proposing to the song. I was like, this is amazing.
Yeah, that however fucking that rhythm dude
dropped. And
oh my god, when the fucking vocals come on, and then it just I heard it at Space 100. I mean, they played it at Space fucking right after lockdowns. Every time I would go, that someone would play that.
Yeah, track. A lot of people still request the song. It's like, when did it come out now? Like 2 years ago. Yeah, people still requesting the song, but I still love playing it.
It's a great fucking song. How, you know, now thinking about it, because I mean, I did speak to Seth a little bit about it, but dude, lockdowns, man, was that a scary? Was that like no parties? How?
So, lockdown was kind of a blessing, but it was like, I know a lot of people still like, there were a lot of people touchy-feely about like what you should and shouldn't do like during lockdown, but I remember when it first happened, I was like, cool, I can just produce and it'll
Mm.
go over in like a month. And then suddenly it just started like going in like to like June, July, August. And I was like, what is going on?
Yeah.
And it really stopped like a lot of DJs from, you know, a lot of DJs weren't in a good way because we were just like, what do we do?
100%.
And then when it got to like a point where you could DJ, but you have like these certain restrictions, like you can only have 5 per table. Like in London, it was crazy. It was like 5 per table. Then it was like, you can't dance. And I was
Live
like,
streams.
what? They were just like, oh yeah, because COVID happens when like, I don't know, it was just a lot of like crazy restrictions. And
It's in
then
the
like you would
past.
see like the Prime Minister having like a house party, and I'm like, okay, this doesn't make sense. So he actually got revealed he did a house party, so it was quite funny. But it wasn't funny for a lot of people because we were all just like at home, not seeing like friends and family and like loved ones. But I then went to, I think it got to the point where I really was like, as a DJ, like, do I find something else? Is this it now? Is this our life? Because it was just like,
Wow.
what do I do? I did a lot of live streams back in the day. Just, you know, I started getting creative on OBS and just wasting my time away, just trying to figure out like other avenues. And then my friend was like, hey, we're going to Tulum in like Jan. And I was like, you want to come? And I was like, are we allowed? And he's like, yeah, you can go in. Going to Tulum, went there for 2 weeks, you know, just relaxing, partying, blah, 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 because everything was different there. It was very strange. And then Mike hit me up like, oh, I've got this really big show in Florida, because Florida didn't really care about COVID at the time. And that was actually like, that was a huge move. And Mike was like, I've got Marco Corolla and I've got you, 5,000 people. And I was like, bro, like, what?
Where
What's
was this in
going on?
Florida?
Orlando.
Because I saw you open for Marco Music on Printworks.
Yeah.
That was.
Oh, yeah. That was.
I was there.
Yeah.
Dude, that shit was fucking fun, man. That was 2022.
2022, yeah. So when was COVID again? 2021?
Yeah.
2021, yeah.
February, right?
Yeah, so I was like,
Debuting
but
from
Mike,
pandemic.
you know, I'm in Mexico. He's like, you know, you just quarantine for 2 weeks, come over, and everything was like legally allowed to do it. But, you know, obviously I'm nervous because I'm like, if I get COVID from all these parties I've just had in Mexico, I've definitely probably got it. Came out fine, and I was just like, cool, okay. Next stage, because everything was like, if you had COVID, you have to like stay in the country for an extra 2 weeks or like blah. So I was like, wow, okay, it's meant to be. It's happened. Like I didn't have it. Went to Orlando. I'm talking like the whole of Orlando was out just for this like one show, and I was like, what is going on? Anyway, did crazy videos, amazing like experience. Like me and Marco are happy to see each other again. It feels like we haven't seen each other for a long time. And then like we party, and then after there was just all this like speculation online, like, oh, this plague rave in Orlando and blah blah blah. And like we had like an email come across from like this big publicist that just runs everything or whatever, and we're just like, we're gonna write this article about you. And I was just like, but Florida's fine. And I sent her the huge like, Florida's allowed to, you know, what was it, the CDC or something,
Social
blah,
distance
blah.
horseshit.
Yeah, it was just like, everything's fine. And I sent it to her, and she said, okay, we're not gonna post about it. But it was gonna turn into like a plague rave disaster thing, and it ended up just working out. But
Ridiculous.
yeah, then I just stayed in Florida for 2 months, and I was just like, this is amazing. And yeah, I just fell in love.
Did you ever think then at that time that you'd maybe move here at some point part time?
Never. I fell in love with the city because everyone was just so nice and just grateful for, and like, I was like, this is a great city. And like, always in the back of my mind, I was like, I'd love to live in Miami.
Yeah, not to go down that rabbit hole of lockdowns. It's in the past, but fuck, man, we were lucky. Like I remember.
It's crazy because a lot of DJs that didn't do anything during like the lockdown had like so many years to like catch up from people just trying to do something. But it felt illegal as a DJ to be a DJ. It was weird. It was like, it felt weird, like, you know, trying to make people dance, trying to make people have fun, like, you know, and especially in the UK, like you have a few beers, like they don't really care about social distancing and stuff. But like, it was just so hard for me, and it was draining as a DJ. And I think a lot of DJs agree, like during COVID, was just like, we didn't see the fun of it anymore, because the whole point of the whole music and DJing was to like enjoy and have an experience, and everyone, you know,
Togetherness.
and everyone's separated.
It's fucked.
And like 3 people on a bench or whatever.
Yeah, I remember, kind of just drift away from this topic or whatever, but towards once things started opening up again, but they still had us staying away from each other. I go to the fucking airport, and like before you get on the flight, so you need to be as far away from everyone as possible. Then you get on the fucking flight, and there's 400 people sitting 2 inches away from each other, and I'm just like, dude, are you serious? Like, that's kind of, I'll never forget that day. I was like, I've had enough of this shit.
Oh, I couldn't breathe in those masks. And in Peru,
I could not breathe in that shit.
And when everything started like opening up, South America was like the last to like open up. And I remember they asked me to wear like 3 masks in Peru. I was like, 3? I said, yeah, just to triple make sure. I was like, I'm suffocating. But yeah, I still can't get over that time. It was a long period.
Thank God we're back onto, you know, fresh air. And 2024, how was 2024 for you?
2024 was crazy. It was like I started my like first kind of like real season in Ibiza.
Mm-hmm.
That was fun. It was a lot of partying though, because I felt weird staying at home. I feel like when you're in Ibiza, and like your friends are coming like every single day and week. Hey, I'm here. You want to? I was like, okay, yeah, sure. And then we'd party until the sun comes up, and I'm like, oh, this is dangerous. But I'm just such a like, I love going out. I love meeting people, seeing people. But I felt like I got to the point where I was like, I feel like I've seen too many people now. I feel like everyone's seen me in the same place now. I'm like, I need to chill next year.
Yeah.
Just not go too much. But it's nice. I love music. I love hearing people DJing, listening to new tracks and supporting. So it's always been me as a person. So yeah.
So a lot of partying and shows in 2024, you would say?
A lot of partying shows, new experiences. Like first time going to like Mykonos and Saint-Tropez, and like that's a whole different ball game there. Like they listen to like slower music and stuff. So
yeah, the more
not like rave. It's like more percussions.
Yeah,
all that stuff.
I don't even know if it was like Afro house or more of just like a bit more tribally and
Mykonos was just even at the airport, just landing in, I just heard Afro house. I was like, wow, this is just Afro house central. But it,
like the most posh,
VIP posh kind of stuff. But I had a really good time there, and I had a really good time in Saint-Tropez. Like I'm starting to understand like that sort of scene as well, because before I was always just rave.
Yeah.
And then I started like listening to a lot of like what everyone's listening to, and kind of understanding that, there's just different spectrums of our music, and like I appreciate all kinds.
Do you have like a creative process or like ritual before going into a certain,
make a fat bass line, and then I started like the bass line has to be fat, and then I start producing after. Yeah. But they're not really a ritual. I just every day in the studio.
Every day. Have
to. It's like I go to the gym every day. I go to the studio every day. Like I'm making that like a sort of like ritual.
Morning or night?
Night's easier to produce just because you feel like you're in the setting.
Yeah.
In the daytime, it's a bit, unless you're making like daytime vibes. But
yeah,
like nighttime, I'm always making like nighttime vibes. So, evenings just easier. But it would be like 4:00 in the morning. I'd be like, oh, I need to go to bed.
And then your fucking ears are just like still thinking.
Yeah, and then I'll go to bed and I'm thinking about how I can like make the next layer in my head. And I would like, and sometimes I would even leave bed and just come straight and just be like, okay, and I go back to bed.
I just had a hilarious idea. Have you ever been in a Tesla? Just so
there's a little production thing. Yeah, dude, I made a little beat on my friend's car going all the way from Orlando to Miami. I was just making a beat.
I tried to do it in my house. Shit was awful. It was so bad, but it was a lot of fun. But what about for shows though? So you see the difference in, obviously crowds in a place like Saint-Tropez or Mykonos, and then you come here, Space or You know,
Yeah.
maybe in the UK. What about before that? Or is it more of just like, fuck it, we go?
Yeah, there's so many. It's funny. It sounds bad, but I feel like in every country I play sort of to half the vibe of the country and half the vibe of myself. But I would never go fully to the vibe just because I feel like they have heard a lot of that's kind of like sort of music already there. But I like to be kind of like a chameleon, especially like during back-to-backs. I love to just, you know, embrace like what the DJ is. Like, for instance, if it's like Rossi, I know he's playing house. I know he's playing this kind of like funky bass line. So I know exactly what I get with him. So if anything, I just like boost it even more and like play exactly what his vibe is, but just into my vibe and then go back into his vibe. And I do it with a lot of DJs. Like I've been playing back to back with a lot of like unique different DJs now where I've been put in positions where I'm like, okay, you know, this is going to be a long set. Like the one with Solomon in, I think it was May.
That must have been crazy.
It was crazy, but that was actually, it was kind of like a great, you know, like it wasn't supposed to happen. It was, so Fisher was supposed to play, but he was expecting his child. So he literally, he had to pull out of space. It was supposed to be like Solomon and Fisher. And
It was here in Miami.
here in Miami. So he had to, remember he had his, I think he had his baby in May or June or something. And he pulled out. And we got a call from our agent like, oh, you're in Miami, right? I was like, yeah. And they said, well, I think, you know, emergency, we need to do this show in space after Solomon. I was like, wow, what an honor. Like, yeah, I'll play with Solomon for sure. Like, you know, after Solomon. Got there quite early, but they didn't give me a time. They didn't really give me like an exact time of when Solomon was going to finish.
I feel like he never has a time.
And I was
set
like,
to finish.
okay, I'll just rock up at, I think they said they wanted me to start at 8 p.m. or 7. And I got there like 5. And Solomon's like, hey, you're here early. I'm like, yeah, I wanted to see you play and stuff, you know, like get in the groove. He's like, I don't know if I'm going to come off yet. And I was like, it's fine, bro, play as long as you want. Like, I'm super chill. Like, I'm just happy that I'm like here, and whenever you're ready, I'm here. Like, you know, standby, kind of like how you wait for a flight, like that. And then he just looks at me and he just grabs me in the shoulder and said, look, I'm not gonna come off, so I think you're gonna have to like jump on with me. And I said, okay. Cool. And we played for 12 extra hours.
That's
and
fucking awesome.
we had the funnest time. I was throwing it back to like old Solomon because I know his kind of like dirty electro kind of stuff. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to bring it back to like French electro kind of vibe, like 2000, 2005. He was like looking at me like, how do you know this record? And I'm like, let's do this. Let's do this.
Yes.
And 12 hours. And he was absolutely loving it. He was having so much fun. And I met his TM that day and we was all just like getting along so well. And it's weird because 12 hours seems like a long time, but it just flew. It flew because I was in such a great like energy headspace, so like grateful for like Space and Solomon for like letting me just like play, and also grateful for Fisher. But yeah, everything just kind of worked out just randomly, and it just ended up being like one of like my favorite moments of the year, and I was just like, wow. But yeah,
it's crazy how, dude, spontaneous moments sometimes are the fucking best.
They're the
especially
best.
Parties.
Yeah,
when you don't expect it, and then it just blossoms into something fucking amazing.
I've played back to back with like random people in like Tulum, and we've like hanged out and ended up like his genre is this genre and I'm this genre, but we just like came together and just ended up creating like a whole party atmosphere out of nothing. Like me, Adam Ten and Mitagami did that in Tulum last year. We just vibed, ended up playing for like 12 hours there as well. I don't know what's happened with 12 hours, but I think that's my like stopping.
How long was Solomon playing before you jumped on?
Oh, he was like 20 hours? I don't know.
I think it was like 5 hours before, so 17 hours.
Yeah, he played for such a long time.
That's a fucking marathon, man.
I thought
that's the longest set you've ever played?
I think Portugal. I think that was like 16 to 18 hours.
The whole time you were on?
Yeah. It's a funny story. It's kind of a bit. Yeah, fuck it, I'll tell you. It was
Oh, come on, we gotta hear
I
it
was
now.
playing at this festival. I'm not gonna name anyone just because I don't want to step on anyone's toes. But I was playing at this festival in Portugal, and like, I was out the whole night and blah blah blah. And then he goes, "Oh yeah, like you want to play this after party? In the nice like top of the, I don't know, where were we in Faro in Portugal." I go up and I get there. I'm so like hanging from the night before, and I'm like, oh, I gotta play this after this, but I know it's gonna be good. I get there, and I find out that like from one of my other DJ friend, like, by the way, don't look at any of the girls. I'm like, oh, why? And it's like, cartel. And I was like, no way. The Colombian cartel was there, like hosted this party, and I was just DJing there, and I was just like, I guess I'm just gonna keep DJing. And I played for 18 hours, and then this guy came on and was just like, oh yeah, and then it was just like, you mix in. I was like, oh my god. I was like, oh my god. But they were loving it. They were having the best time. But you can imagine what I'm feeling like. I'm like, don't look at the girls. They're really pretty, but just don't look at the girls, please.
I would have fucked up and definitely looked at that, bro.
It's
Turn
like,
around,
it's like, baby. Oh. No. But yeah, I was throwing it down. Like I noticed this, and like, you're playing the show, you're playing the party, like you don't know who you're playing for. So you could like have someone walk in and he's like this and that, and you can have someone come in and is this, and you have no idea who you're playing for. You're on the decks, you're DJing, you're doing your thing. Mm-hmm. And I've just seen a lot of people come in and come out where I've just like been very confused, and I'm like, wow, this is like, they're here, dude. But like, you're DJing, you're just bringing this whole like this vibe into the club. So like there is a lot of, I'm sure a lot of DJs, like I remember hearing another story from like one of my friends from Argentina, told me this even crazier story. But it's just, everyone's had this kind of like interaction where they've probably played to like them and that, but like at the end of the day, like everyone just wants to party. And I guess like that's my job. There's nothing really, I'm not saying, yes, I want to play for this. It just happens. Yeah. And you just get put in positions where, as a DJ, you just want to play music and stuff. But there has been like crazy experiences where I've been like, how did I get here? How did I end up in this house party with all these people and blah, blah, blah. Like in Mykonos, I played for Kevin Hart's birthday. That was...
No fucking way.
That was crazy. And I was just like...
Kevin Hart?
How is this? Yeah, it was like some...
How did that happen?
These boys... I remember Mike just said, do you want to play Kevin Hart's birthday in Mykonos? And I was like, yeah, go on. Yeah, I'll do it. Why not? But I was just like, does he know who I... does he know my music?
Fuck it.
But the boys that like were planning it was like... It was his birthday. What was it like?
Okay.
Yeah, and he
loves dance music.
I only know Phil Ivey.
Yeah, he was like a big Las Vegas guy, and he just like invited me over, and was just looked after me and stuff, and I played at Kevin Hart's birthday, and it was just a crazy experience. I'm like, like he's celebrating. I was like, I see this guy in the movies and stuff. It's just nuts seeing like all these people.
Did you guys meet him at all, or just from
yeah, just like a quick like hi and stuff, and like happy birthday, like thanks for having me in, and I just started DJing and just went straight into the zone, and then that was it. And
where was it? Oh, it was in Mykonos.
In Mykonos, yeah. And I was just like, it's just fun having crazy experiences, and you don't know where it's gonna go, but like, yeah.
Those stories sound like the fucking,
Oh, it was fun. it was a long night, but it was a fun night. But yeah.
And this was all last year.
Yeah, this is all last year. This is what I mean. Like every weekend is another country, another place, and like it's just crazy how fast paced like DJ lives are. Yeah. And like I'm doing this amount, and then Seth's doing like I don't know, like 30 shows in a month or something crazy. And like I see them, and I'm like, these boys have been around for all this time, and I'm getting into it, and I'm like, how do these boys do it? But they're so used to it, and they think we're like the pussies, and I'm like, well, we're trying we're trying our best, but I'm not a big fan of flying. I love being in the country. I love the whole culture and everything, but the flight, no, just just don't like it. I just don't enjoy it. I'm bored. I can't make music. I've watched all the movies, seen them like 5 times.
Could have a drink.
This way, that way. Yeah, I could have a drink and stuff, but yeah.
I realize that.
Can't switch off.
Yeah.
On a flight. I don't know why.
I can't nap on a flight.
And my neck's so long, I can't put all these neck pillows because they're suffocating me, and I'm like in a chokehold, like trying to get to the next show. But
yeah, I think I realized, like, if you guys when you guys aren't playing, you're trying to rest and recover,
or trying to get back into the time zone somehow.
Exactly.
I remember I used to come home like my ex-girlfriend was like annoyed at me because I had like no energy. I was like, I've just come back from Chile. Like, I'm in London now, like, hi. But yeah, it was a difficult time. It's very mentally, like, you need to be alert, active, and like that's why now I've got into like this whole gym routine, because I felt like as a DJ, like, you could really just rot away if you're not active or doing some sort of like health or something beneficial to yourself. So I just decided, like, I want to go to the gym. I'm in Miami. I want to just, everyone's active here. I can just start like going out every morning and just trying to get into like a nice routine.
Fuck yeah.
As soon as I go abroad, routine.
Sayonara.
You want to pull weights in a hotel after you've just like flown like 19, 16 hours. It's like,
fuck no.
Just put the weights on the plane so you start up, but yeah.
So would you say that's one of the most challenging parts, is the mental health and the routine? How do you manage the mental health?
Yeah. So like
mental health is more important than anything at the end of the day.
The kind of thing that like everyone forgets about is like the whole music industry is kind of like built on like partying, and everyone's having like their own like, drinking a lot of alcohol, doing this, blah, blah, blah. And everyone's just in different mentalities going around, but they're all doing the one thing, which is enjoying themselves. But it can get sometimes like, if someone goes a bit overboard and this and that, like, it's very challenging for people. And I know that there's a lot of like people I've seen like from when I first started to like now, and I would, like, there's just a lot of like mental challenges with a lot of producers and DJs thinking like they're not good enough, and like, how can I like be more focused in this world, and like what am I doing different? And sometimes I would give them like a tiny bit of advice, like, you need to really think outside the box, because if you're just like gonna copy like what he does or what she does, there's no what makes you unique is like, why should someone want to book you and DJ? Like, what is your music doing to like the vast majority? And it's important that everyone has that kind of outside the box moment, because that's the thing that will get you into like creating like almost new music. And just like it's hard, and it's
hard to not compare yourself, would you say? It's
hard to compare, like, to really compare yourself to like what you're hearing outside in this. You really need to step away from everything. And I always say that old music is timeless, and there's so much great inspiration from old tracks that like they think of like this way of doing this bass line or this arp. And that's kind of like the creative process of like how I always go and produce, is I always go back in time, listen to like how they used to make stuff. And I also do quite like the minimal stuff from like Romania. They're making like weird buzzy sappy noises and stuff, and I'm like, this is cool. But yeah, it's just creating that kind of experience for like all these. But yeah, just DJing and stuff has just taken a whole new journey and level with being an influencer and stuff. So
yeah, do you think have you heard the saying like adapt or die is not the fucking, it's not the, it's a little bit extreme, but
yeah,
what are your thoughts on that?
Adapt in that way of being current with what's going on marketing wise,
but always stay true.
Always stay true, and always remember like what you're doing, and enjoy the time as well, because it's fun. It's really fun. You make a track and you see people like start singing it and really just going for it and almost crying. It's like, it's amazing. Such an amazing feeling.
Yeah, I think that's the other thing too, with just electronic music, dance music. I mean, every time you go to a party, the energy is so high. Everyone is so in the moment. You're in such like this upper echelon of just like, oh, I feel great. Like, you feel the music, you're in the moment. And then when the party's over, you're just like, I mean, regardless of how hard you're going, whatever it is, then you kind of just like, back to ground zero.
Yeah, it's
And
like
so when you're in that, like, especially, I mean, when I got the taste of it with Seth and stuff, it was like, you know, I never really hit ground zero because it was you keep going, and you guys, you know, that's kind of how you guys are always that headspace.
yeah.
And so that's why I ask, because it's like fucking, it must be really hard, man. You know?
Yeah, the headspace is challenging. You have to wake up at a certain time, like you could land, blah blah, lose a lot of time from flying, try and get back into time zone, and then play a set. And it's funny, every time I go to like Italy, they have like the promoters are showing me amazing food, but I'm having like 9 courses, and it gets to like the limoncello, and I'm like, can I please have a double espresso? And they say, hey, you're playing in 2 hours. I'm like, yeah, I'm playing in 2 hours. And I'm like, I remember I got into a hotel and I was like, this is hard. Like, you know, not the food, just
Everything.
ingestion, like, and then trying to play
On a full stomach,
on
I
a
couldn't
full
imagine that
stomach.
shit.
And then like you're trying to like, yeah, you get put in like a lot of challenges, and I do really enjoy the food in Italy. It's just, you know, I always go into a food coma after,
Unfucking
and I'm
believable.
DJing, I'm like,
Burning it off, baby.
and then it'll get to like 5, and then you have to sleep for like an hour, and then you go straight to the airport back home. It's great. Yeah, so the traveling lifestyle, if that was easier, you know, I'm waiting for these planes coming out in 2025, 3 hours to New York.
London, New York.
Please, I want to be on that plane.
I don't see how we're not going to see something like that in the next fucking decade.
I was always hoping for this day to happen. Sorry, I'm sinking in the straight.
I am too.
Oh, gave me like a front wedgie as well.
They used to have those planes though. I think my grandma told me a story. I mean,
What, the Concorde?
yeah, those.
Oh, good old Concorde.
Yeah.
Was it like, I think it was like an English design, but it went through so much petrol. So this one now is like eco-friendly. So just straight to New York in 3 hours.
Yeah.
Hopefully this year. I would love it. I'll be on that plane straight away.
That would be a game changer.
I'll be the test. Yeah, test it on me. I would love it. But yeah,
That'd be
anything
fucking
that helps us just get to the. We just want to play and enjoy and just see the country and do all the nice stuff like the planes. Just make them quicker. But you know, we're getting there. We're getting there.
We're getting there. I think we'll get there. I wanted to ask you, what's the story behind Planet X?
So Planet X was a thing that I've always wanted to do since, you know, I love seeing the concept of the parties, and I love seeing like how people create like this whole like different atmosphere. And I've been to like a lot of events now where, you know, you can rock up to the same club and they put like trees and palm trees everywhere and I don't know, lights, and it just turns into like a whole new experience. And I was like, I love this because it helps also like the creative aspect of like what I do, like if I want to put someone in a journey of this. And I thought Planet X actually came from a Looney Tunes episode which I used to watch when I was a kid. They went to Planet X, Marvin the Martian, and I was like, oh, it's a really good name. It just stuck to my head, so I just remembered Planet X. And the whole theme of Planet X as well is just perfect for my sound, because if you see like the old stuff I used to like make back in the day, I always used to make like planets and spaceships and very like, you know, it sounds very cheesy and generic, but but at the time like that was always my inspiration, just making very out of space kind of like characteristics in this kind of music, and that helped like with my whole like Berlin vibe and stuff like that. So yeah, and I just was like, I want to create this experience, and this is the perfect time now to do it. I feel like a lot of the events that we're seeing at the minute, I feel like there should be something new coming in, and you know, just like getting in with the trends and just seeing how that kind of pans out. And we've got a few shows coming out. I've got one in Manchester at the end of the month.
January.
Yeah, January 31st. And then I've got one in LA for Skyline. And I've also got EDC Vegas doing. So we've got a stage there. And I'm bringing all the kind of like, all the European kind of sounds, I'm bringing them over here. And we're going to have a good time. So I'm really excited for it.
That's fucking awesome. It's funny, man. I watched some Looney Tunes when I was growing up and stuff, but it's actually funny. I have a tattoo of the Tasmanian devil.
No
from
way.
Looney Tunes, yeah.
It was such like a big thing like growing up, like Looney Tunes and Tom and Jerry is a bit more like old school.
I watched a lot of Tom and Jerry.
But like my mum was so into Tom and Jerry, so I was like Tom and Jerry, Looney Tunes. And I just remember there was just one episode of like Marvin the Martian. It's funny how he speaks, and he just went straight to space, Planet X.
Yeah.
And they were racing there. So yeah.
Keep growing it and just to take it day by day.
Keep growing it day by day, and just like, you know, and embrace like all the kind of music that's coming out today, and just bring it into this like event. Like I just want to bring in like the really talented, cool people that, you know, like that can really help, you know, this whole like music scene with just trying to like educate people and like good music and stuff. And I've got, you know, like I've created like a really good friendship group of, you know, coming into like different industries. Like, you know, I would always chill and, you know, like wherever I am and just embrace like people's like sets and stuff. And yeah, and I just thought like it was a good opportunity to like bring that on board.
That's fucking awesome. Do you have a different approach when you're producing a song for Planet X? And
it's weird, like my music always just takes me on weird journeys, and I'm always inspired by different like elements in electronic dance music. I've actually done this new song coming out. I think I can reveal it now because Mike's out the room. I'm doing my first ever like big collaboration with Florence and the Machine, and it was funny how that first came about. I've always seen Florence and the Machine like during when I was growing up, so I remember I just like came across this track of hers and I was just manipulating music. But I think from all the inspiration that I got from kind of like the melodic side, because I remember I was DJing like Tulum and stuff, and I was embracing a lot of like the Tulum DJs, like Saint-Tropez and Mykonos DJs. That ended up being like a very like melodic, kind of like almost still to like that Mind Dimension kind of vibe.
Mm-hmm.
And then working with Florence, with her voice is just amazing. Like her voice is so good. So just kind of like blending both the kind of her vibe and my vibe together, because it could just be a huge like dance track.
Mm-hmm.
But this one I just wanted to like really meet in the middle with her music and my music, and just kind of like create something special there.
When can we expect that release?
February.
Awesome.
Yeah.
That's sick.
So that will come out. We're just working on like probably late February, if not early March.
And so now you're chilling this month, and then your first party will be a Planet X party or you have a stage.
Oh, actually, I'm in Aspen. I'm doing Aspen on the 24th.
Fuck! I go to Aspen next week.
No.
Man.
They told me it's like some X Games or something. Like.
Damn, dude, are you kidding me? Yeah, I'm going. I think I'm gonna be there next week for like 4 or 5 days.
I've never been to Aspen, but I just remember it from Dumb and Dumber. They went up to Aspen, didn't they, to give that briefcase back to that girl?
Yeah.
That's how I remember Aspen.
Aspen is pretty interesting. Have you been to Colorado before?
I think I have, yeah.
Denver.
Yeah, I've been to Denver.
Yeah, it's. I mean, Aspen is kind of like. It's like I don't even know how to describe it. It's more. It's like the.
Like a snow lodge and stuff.
Yeah,
right?
it's like a fucking high end, fucking.
Apparently the snow's really good.
Super fucking. No, the snow's good. I mean, there's the Aspen Mountain, there's Snowmass, Buttermilk, 3 different mountains separate, which that's the only thing that sometimes isn't, too ideal, where you have to drive to each different mountain. But the Aspen town, I mean, good parties, good vibes. I mean, the X Games are there, so that should be a lot of fucking fun.
I know.
How did that come about? How the fuck did you, with the X Games?
I think I've done like some snow parties before, like but in like Austria and France, but like this was like my first one here, and it just came about, and I was just like, yeah, I really want to try this, try Aspens. I've always seen it in the movies.
Yeah.
So I was like, yeah, sounds fun.
Yeah, that's something every time I see these videos of like the parties on the mountains in somewhere in Europe, because I mean, few places in the U.S. there's like those good fucking parties.
Yeah.
I've never been to a good one. Like
no,
with like a good artist performing, some good dance music in the mountains. Because I mean, dude, at least having a beer up in that altitude or some drinks is fucking perfect.
It's crazy because you get so hot from the sun, but you're freezing from like just touching the snow. I'm like, but yeah, I'll probably try and snowboard. Not that good, but
it's not too difficult.
I remember the reason why I never really tried to do any sports was I think it was in the Alps, and Scream literally broke his like leg before his show, and I was like, okay, I think that's me not doing any snowboarding events because I'm not good. So I'm like, I'm probably gonna break my leg as well.
Are you gonna be in Aspen enough days to fuck around as well, or?
I think I'm gonna try and see if I can do like 2 day, like try and fly out on like the 22nd or something, just experience it because it's my first time going. And I feel like a lot of places I go to is just like 1 day and then fly straight out.
Yeah.
And sometimes I'm like, hey, this place is cool, I want to spend more time, but you know, with a busy schedule, it's hard when you're like, you need to fly the next day, but you just met like a load of friends and like, hey, what are you doing tomorrow?
I'm out,
unfortunately. But
yeah. If there's one thing that I will say is a special feeling is you got the headphones plugged in, you're strapped up to the board, maybe a beer or two in the system, or you hit the J, and you're just going down those fucking trails in the snow, dude. It's some crazy feeling because you're just like carving and the music's playing. You should definitely get out there and do that.
No, for sure. I'm really looking forward to.
I'm pissed. I'm not gonna coincide.
I hope I'm good at. I'll try and snowboard. I'm gonna just give it a go. Maybe do some snowboarding lessons. Because I can skateboard and stuff, so it's just like trying to get that balance. But it just feels weird.
Yeah.
Or strange on a snowboard. I can't explain it.
Yeah, it's just fucking toe side, heel side, and then your
like
ass will be sore.
Little whip, just to like
stop
and I'm like, wow.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I have a few fun questions, and then some rapid fire ones.
Cool.
You have any memorable, embarrassing moments at a show where you maybe fucked up and you were like, ah.
Oh no. There's been like very strange experiences. I'm just trying to think off the top of my head what I can reveal. That's not too bad. There's just been a lot of like I said, like the booths are crazy. You can see like a lot of stuff going in the booths. Like you turn around, there's like, I don't know, you could see like a lot going on. But actually, there was a funny one in Vegas that was like a recent one, where some guy literally just like ran up and jumped on the decks, and just like I was just looking up at him, like, what is going on? There's a video of it, but the camera guy just clipped like the last bit, and it's just like him standing on the decks, jumping down. And then he just starts like doing some, I don't know, it kind of looks like he was like twerking.
Oh, what the fuck?
And I was just looking at him like, it's like, you want a hug?
Yeah.
So I was very confused, but it was the first time happening, like when that sort of stuff happens. But I guess I already know that's what's happened. And you just, I don't know, my reaction, everyone's laughing at my reaction, but I was like, what is going on?
Yeah.
And I started laughing because it was already really good, high energy, and everyone was really enjoying it. And I just see some guy just like run up and then just climbed over the first fence. I'm like, wow. And then he climbed over the next one. I was like, oh, he's actually going towards. Stood on the decks, completely fucked my set. And then,
because it just throws you out of the moment.
Because it started like ricocheting, like you can hear in the back, it's like ricocheting. I'm like, what's going on? And then our friend Mattia, huge Italian guy, just picked him up with one finger and just went like, just removed him to the end. And I was like, thank you, Mattia. But I also thank you to the guy that was the stage manager, because he first reacted. Because you can get in that position and like now looking back at it, it could have been dangerous. But thank God it was just like a laughable moment. But he saved the day, and Mattia also saved the day for that. But yeah, it could have gone. It's actually gone south.
It's actually funny. I know of Mattia because just seeing him on everyone's pages and shit. The first time I ever went to Ibiza, which was in it was 2017, and I was just like fucking fanboying like crazy Marco. Of course, I was just like wanted to go see Marco, and I see him show up late to the flight. I was the last one aboard, and I was like, what the fuck? And
no way.
Yeah, it was crazy, man. It was 2017. I remember I saw him and I was just like, whatever, said hi. That was funny. He's massive. He's like 6'5".
Yeah,
Not 6'5", but he's like 6'4" or something like that.
He's
Proper Italian, huh?
Proper Italian. But yeah, he was there that day, saved the day. Thanks, Mattia.
Shout out the bro. What about what do you think you'd be doing if you weren't DJing?
I always think about this question. I'm always a creative person, so I think I would do something in like, I love photography. I love like design and just graphic design and stuff. Like, I always wanted to be a creative person somewhere, but just music, I just fell in love with it. It's
Yeah,
such a buzz.
something in the creative.
Yeah, so
spectrum.
definitely something in the creative spectrum.
Nice. This one's a really difficult one. Actually, ChatGPT gave me this question.
Ooh.
If you could play only one track for the rest of your life, what would it be?
My invention.
Yeah, I could fucking listen to that 1,000
Yes,
times and not get
1,000.
tired of it.
Yeah.
Let's go.
One hit wonder.
All right, a couple rapid fire questions here as we're coming to the end. Sunrise or sunset party?
Sunrise.
Sunrise.
It's that nice feeling of like transitioning over, like, I always go from like the whole like upbeat stuff and then going in towards like the like nice housey disco kind of vibe of like the sun coming up. And I've had a lot of great experiences in sunrise.
So sunrise,
Sunrise.
because that vibe is different, you know.
I love a sunrise.
I love a
That
sunset.
sun
Yeah, when
pointing
it's
up,
coming
new
up,
day, beautiful.
keep the party going.
Ah.
What's the drink of choice? You get ready to go.
Unfortunately, it's tequila. It's unlimited. It is literally there wherever I go, and it just can't leave my side. I think I've actually like called up my agent one time, like, can we just get rid of tequila just one night? And I'll turn up, and then the promoter's like, hey, you're here, and then we're doing shots, and then it's 20 shots down. I'm like holding on to the mixer, and
Fucking A. That is a sign that we'll have to
unlimited
a
tequila.
proper TSL time, you know. Shout out Ben for respecting my dry January move, trying to, you know, getting through this first month of the year, keeping it clean. But we'll have to get our, I mean, fucking A, when we met.
We'll do a shot after.
Yeah. So tequila, okay, and sunrises. What about pizza or tacos?
I've had some good tacos in Tulum, so I'd say tacos.
You've spent a lot of time in Mexico.
Yeah,
The only place I've been to in Mexico is Tulum.
I love it. I love the Mexico City, Tulum, Cancun. It was just a lot of time I spent there, so I started like understanding the culture, and the food's amazing.
It's ridiculous.
Wow, amazing avocados.
Amazing. Dude, I remember when I was there, it was for my 21st birthday. Got this Airbnb with some friends, we were with some girls, and fucking Bender, and we go, and because, you know, obviously Tulum is like, it's like a mix between, right, that like kind of tourist trappy areas, and then there's also, you know, we went into like Tulum and just had some random tacos in the middle of the street where it was like $2, $1.
Yeah,
And they had these little. Every time I go to a Mexican place and they have the sauces already sitting on the table, you know what I'm talking about? I'm like, this is the fucking spot.
Yeah,
Because I love Mexican food and spice, and those were the best tacos I've ever had in my life.
is it the one on the street, like literally on the?
Dude, I couldn't tell
on
you.
the, on the big, like, it's kind of like their highway going through, like, from
Yeah.
Playa del Carmen.
It was one of those.
But yeah, the tacos there. If you just see a lot of like local residents there, you're like, this is the spot. There's no tourists. It's great.
Yeah.
So this is it.
There was I mean, from what I remember, which it was a blurry trip, it was one of those fucking tacos places. It was fucking amazing.
Enhance the
I
flavor.
feel like a lot of people make bad decisions in Mexico. I'm not gonna lie, especially with all the bullshit. Like everything's legal in the pharmacies, and you know, just do dumb shit.
I know it is. I think it's the way you bring yourself to a country. If you treat it like a playground, you're gonna get into a lot of problems. But if you treat it with like respect and you can still have fun, then no country is really dangerous. I say.
Yeah.
That. You just have to be respectful, whatever
100%.
country you're in. Like if you treat it like a play, oh, I'm in Tulum, I'm gonna go nuts. Like, and then you hear a story about them on like the last day. It's like, bro, please, like, be, you know, you need to be respectful. Be in a place like any country,
For
even
sure.
in London, South
Yeah.
London. Good luck.
Yeah. I mean, I think I'm always pretty respectful in the places I go to. It's just, you know how you can have a cultural trip or like a party trip, you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, it just starts going into like the next party. And
Yeah, every
and
time I'm
you're in
like,
someone's cab, and then someone's driving you to like a random location.
Yeah.
Like, oh God, I've been in those.
So I was like, let's go to cenotes. Let's go check out all these things. All right, we're going to have fucking 10 drinks before we go and jump in this fucking pond or
I've
whatever.
been in so many states. I think I climbed on a car, like, in Tulum one time. It was my friend's car, so it's all right. But, yeah.
It was a friend's car. So
Yeah,
it's
I was
all
just
good.
sticking my head out the front, like, you know that little top bit. I was just like, hey, this is the best. Yeah.
I don't know if I've climbed on it on any cars, but you beat me on that one. Well, if you had to describe your music in one word, how would you describe it?
Electronic.
Nice.
Yeah, I would say like mysterious or electronic, just because like I do involve a lot of like electronic stuff.
Yeah.
But I think that's with every kind of music you need.
Of
electronic
course.
dance music. Yeah.
And what about, I mean, this year, 2025, you want to leave the people with anything that you got coming up, or, are you doing a lot of shows this coming year, releases?
Releases February, the Florence and the Machine track. That's going to be super fun. I can't wait to see that like out. I've worked like religiously like every day on just trying to make sure that this is like hitting the spectrum of people that I want it to hit in like a cool, nice vibe. And, work with this artist is incredible. And then also Planet X shows. I'm excited to do LA, Manchester, Vegas, and we've got like others in the works that we're just finalizing in Europe. But yeah, and summer's going to be fun. And I think like every summer you learn something new. So, maybe don't party too much, even though I like partying. Try and like keep a low key next time, spend more time with friends and family, and yeah.
Fuck yeah. I think we'll get ourselves some few workouts before you get off onto so many flights and just.
I can lift the tiny weights.
Yeah, so
I'm still building up. My friend can. He's nuts.
Steph.
Steph and Johnny, they're always taking about like 20 weights off. I'm being like, there you go. And it's just the bar, and I'm like, yes.
Yeah, I mean, you'll work your way up, man. It's good. You got to start. That's the hardest part,
starting, getting in the gym, and like having them boys already be in the gym, dragging me to the gym.
Helpful.
Is so helpful.
Yeah.
I think if someone already goes gym, just tell them to like drag you in.
Fuck yeah.
Like no you can't say no. You have to say yes. We're going gym. Yes. Come. Yes.
We're going gym soon.
Come in gym in 5 minutes. Get ready. I'd rush. Come out the shower. Yeah. Butt naked. Straight out to the gym. Get changed in the car. No, I'm joking.
Awesome. Yeah, man, dude. Well, thank you so much for coming on to a great fucking year. Appreciate you. It was great chatting. And be on the lookout for Ben. And see you guys in the next episode.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ben.